He was born under a bruised desert sky, lightning crawling across the horizon like a warning. His mother, a Navajo woman of the Bitterwater clan, whispered prayers as she held him close. His father, a wandering settler with a past he never spoke of, carved a crude wooden wolf for the boy and said he'd need it one day. But neither parent could shield him from the truth. The world had no place for a child of two nations. Settlers spat the word breed at him. Navajo elders muttered of taboos and broken lines. Even as a child, he walked alone, learning early that silence was safer than trust. Yet in that loneliness, he grew strong, quick with his hands, quicker with his mind, and always watching the horizon like it was calling his name.
He learned to track from his mother, to shoot from his father, and to survive from the land itself. Coyotes followed him at a distance, as if curious about the strange boy who walked like he belonged nowhere. When he ventured into the settler town for supplies, children mocked him, adults eyed him with suspicion, and the sheriff warned him not to linger. In the Navajo camps he was tolerated but never embraced. He became a shadow drifting between worlds, belonging to neither. But he carried both cultures inside him, stories of changing woman and coyote, and the settler tales of gunslingers and devils who walked in daylight. These stories would one day shape the man he'd become.
He first saw her at Red Mesa, gathering herbs in the early morning light. Her name was Atsaba, Eagle Woman, and she moved with a grace that made the desert seem clumsy. She didn't flinch at his mixed blood or avert her eyes like others did. Instead, she smiled, and the world shifted. They spoke for hours, sharing stories of childhood dreams and the strange feeling of being born into a world that didn't quite want them. She saw the good in him, the gentleness he hid beneath hardened skin. He saw in her a future he never believed he deserved. Love came quietly, like dawn creeping over the mesas.
Their marriage was simple but sacred, blessed by a Navajo elder who believed love was stronger than taboo. Settlers whispered that she'd been stolen. Some Navajo muttered that she'd married a ghost-blooded man. But the two of them didn't care. They built a small home near the canyon rim, where the winds sang through the rocks and the stars felt close enough to touch for the first time. He felt whole. Atsaba taught him the deeper ways of her people, songs for healing, stories of balance, and the belief that every man carries two wolves inside him. She told him he fed the compassionate wolf more than he realized. He believed her.
The trouble came on a blood-red evening. A group of frontiersmen, drunk, angry, and eager to prove themselves, rode toward the canyon. They claimed they were hunting a fugitive. They lied. They wanted sport. They wanted cruelty. They wanted to remind the world that mixed-blood men didn't get to be happy. He tried to reason with them, but they mocked him, shoved him, and finally struck him with the butt of a rifle. Atsabar screamed his name. He reached for her, but the world went black before he could stand.
Smoke curled from the ruins of their home. The frontiersmen were gone. Atsabar was nowhere. He followed the track, stumbling, bleeding, heartland, until he found her body at the canyon's edge. Her hair was tangled with dust, her dress torn, her spirits stolen by men who believed themselves untouchable. He held her in his arms until the sun rose, and when it did, something inside him cracked. The compassionate wolf howled in grief. The vengeful wolf bared its teeth. He tracked the killers for 2 days without food or water, driven by rage alone. But his wounds were too deep, his strength failed. He collapsed in the desert, buzzards circling overhead. As darkness closed in, he whispered Atsabar's name and begged the spirits to let him follow her. But the spirits had other plans. A group of Navajo scouts found him, barely breathing, skin cold as stone, and carried him back to their village. Some argued he should be left to die. Others said he was cursed. But the elders saw something else. A man standing at the crossroads between life and shadow.
They placed him in a sweat lodge, chanting prayers older than memory. The heat seared his lungs, the steam burned his skin, and visions clawed at his mind. He saw 2 wolves fighting inside him. One white, one black, circling, snarling, tearing at each other. He saw Atsabar reaching for him, her face fading like smoke. He saw the frontiersmen laughing as they rode away. And he saw himself, hollow-eyed, gaunt, riding through a wasteland with death at his heels. When he screamed, the lodge shook. When he wept, the fire dimmed. When he finally emerged, he was changed.
Gathered around him, their faces grave. They told him he stood on a knife edge between man and monster. If he fed the compassionate wolf, he might heal. If he fed the vengeful wolf, he would become Chindi, a ghost of hatred cursed to wander forever. They warned him that revenge was a fire that burned the vessel that carried it. But he barely heard them. His heart was ash. His soul was cracked. He asked only one question: where did they go? When he rose to leave, the villagers stepped back. His eyes were darker, colder, as if something sacred had died inside him. The children whispered the word Chindi. The elders did not correct them. He accepted the name, he embraced it. He carved a new totem, a wolf split down the middle, and tied it to his belt. He took his father's revolver, his mother's medicine pouch, and Otsabar's necklace. Then he mounted a sunburned horse and rode into the desert without looking back. He found the first frontiersman in a mining camp. Bragging about what he'd done, Chindi walked into the saloon without a word. The man reached for his gun. Chindi shot him through the heart before the barrel cleared leather. The room froze. No one dared move. Chindi holstered his weapon and walked out. The compassionate wolf whimpered. The vengeful wolf feasted. One by one, he hunted them through canyon, ghost towns and outlaw dens. He became a rumor, then a warning, then a legend. Some said he couldn't be killed. Others said he was already dead. Settlers claimed he was a demon. Navajo whispered that he was the embodiment of a broken spirit. But all agreed on one thing. When Chindi rode into town, someone wasn't riding out. He tracked the last of the killers to a crossroads at midnight. The man was trembling, clutching a deck of cards like a talisman. He claimed the devil had promised him protection. Chindi didn't believe him until the shadows
cracking bone offered Chindi a bargain. Give me your compassion and I will give you vengeance without end. Chindi hesitated. The compassionate wolf howled. The vengeful wolf lunged. He accepted the deal.
The moment he agreed, something inside him died. His heartbeat slowed, his breath chilled, his eyes burned like embers. The compassionate wolf fell silent. The vengeful wolf stood alone. The devil laughed and vanished. Chindi shot the last killer, but felt no satisfaction. No peace, only hunger. He realized then what the shamans had foreseen. He was no longer a man seeking justice. He was a hollow vessel, riding toward an endless horizon.
He wandered from town to town, no longer answering to his birth name. People whispered of a cowboy who rode under a sliver moon, shadowed and stark, a ghost in the bitter dark. They said he played cards with death, drank whiskey like water, and carried sorrow like a second skin. They said his eyes saw through walls, lies and souls. They said he was hunting something no bullet could kill.
And so the legend grew out, where the sagebrush dances in the wind, where coyotes carry whispers through the night, the hollow rider appears. No name, no kin, only a debt unpaid and a love stolen. Every town he enters trembles, every gambler who faces him sweats, every outlaw who hears his hoofbeats praise. For the hollow rider never rides by, he rides through.